What's up, peoples? It's Gendo here, and welcome back to the MLS Matchday vlogs. Back again with the Chicago Fire for Season 2 of my Matchday experience here with Chicago Fire. Now, if you haven't seen last season, links in the description and somewhere on the screen of the playlist of what you missed out last season. Chicago Fire did extremely well. They overperformed, they exceeded expectations, and finished third place in the MLS, both in the conference and the Supporter Shield. But unfortunately, they crashed out to the New York Red Bulls in the first round of the playoffs with their worst home defeat of 4-0 that season. Now, obviously, looking to change things up, but of course, things changing up, more things stay the same. They no longer have David Accam. They no longer have Matt Lampson as their goalkeeper. But of course, they still have Bastian Schweinsteiger, they still have Dax McCarty, and of course, several new additions, like Alexander Katai, loanee player, that they have the potential to buy, too. I'm surprised that the loan is only for 3 months, but the winger, the Serbian winger, could come in on I want to say $1 million to $2 million transfer fee if he performs well during these 3 months on loan. During our Super Draft, we picked up both John Baquero and Mo Adams, a couple of midfielders that could definitely help us in the depth aspect, since we don't have Michael Deleu or Georgi Mihailovic, because both of them had ruptured their ACLs last season and they won't be available till July, August time. Now, the guys on the staff are very high about John Baquero and Mo Adams to help us out, and learning under both Dax McCarty and Bastian Schweinsteiger, I'm pretty sure, will help with their development nonetheless. Now, today we got ourselves a match versus the Sporting Kansas City side that, of course, we traveled out to last year and lost. Of course, that was one of the vlogs that you saw on my playlist last year. Now, obviously, with an opening day, as it stands right now, it's whatever happens. It's one match out of 34. It doesn't really matter if we win or lose here, but it would always work out well if we come away with a win versus Sporting KC. So what does that mean for the match day? Well, Chicago Fire need to come out and attack from the off, and maybe even a 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1 type of formation. They need to expose any sort of defensive discrepancies that Sporting KC might have. And I'm sure they're going to look at the film from last week when they lost to NYCFC. I would love to see them get Alexander Katai into the mix very early on, but we'll just have to wait and see what Veljko Paunovic is going to do. I do say that Chicago Fire is going to win in this kind of cold temperature. It's only 40 degrees Fahrenheit, not as cold as balls as it was last time at the very start of last season, but I do still think the Chicago Fire are going to come away with a win, and I'm going to say 1-0. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be very flashy or showy, but I do think it will be effective, and win is a win. So 1-0 to the Chicago Fire. So let's go on and head out to Toyota Park for our first game of this 2018 season. Well, first and foremost, I need to get myself suited up. So without further ado, let's go out to Toyota Park.
Taking up that entire section. Sporting Kansas City traveled really well. No pyro today. I guess they don't have the money for it. Richard Sanchez with the original save. And then it was headed in on the rebound.
Where's Wagner up?
What even was that? I mean, that's like the free kicks you see on Football Manager that I have.
It sounded like kind guys.
Oh, yeah, it goes over everybody. The defense once again. I think that mistake was all on Christian Dean. It's 2-0 Kansas City. And kickoff. Second half. Let's see if we can do better. Instant reply, Kansas City levels it up. Spilled by Rick Sanchez in front of net, and they pick it up 3-3. I can't believe you give away 2 easy goals like that. How do you do that? Come back from 3-2 and then just give away 2 easy goals.
That's it. Good.
Last kick of the game.
Handball! Handball!
And that's game over. That was disappointing. Pay no attention to the hair. Typical hat hair, but oh boy, first match of the season, and we already got our first stinger. And I honestly gotta tell you, at halftime, I had already a semblance of a post-match speech that I was going to give to you guys, something along the lines of, oh, the Fire need to once again address the defense and the goalkeeping issues, because that has plagued with the Fire for several years now, and that seems to be their identity. As we reach full time, I can tell you that I have no idea what this Fire's identity is. When you go a full half with 53-54% possession and only have 1 shot, that's not good. That's not good. That's exactly what happened in the first half of this match, where Kansas City just seemed to do everything right and the Fire did everything wrong. Second half seemed to be more of the same for the first 25, yeah, roughly 25 minutes of the second half, it just seemed to be more of the same. Then all of a sudden, it's like a switch was flipped. Once the 70-minute mark hit, it's like a switch was flipped, and then all of a sudden the Fire are just pressing forward like their lives depended on it, as it should have been. You know, a lovely cross-in from Alexander Katai. Or actually, it was a lovely cross-in from someone else, Alexander Katai, getting himself his first goal of the season. Now I think about it, it's actually Schweinsteiger threw in that cross. And we finally got ourselves a lifeline back. Then another cross-in. This time it was from Katai to Nemanja Nikolic. Ball spillage in front of net. We get ourselves an equalizer. Wonderful stuff. 82 minutes on the clock. We complete the comeback. Nemanja Nikolic able to score, put the Fire in the lead, and everybody is just up in raptures at Toyota Park. But then, in typical Fire fashion, as soon as we score, we immediately concede the very next minute. And what does Kansas City do? They do just that. They equalize without so much as a single person putting up a fight, putting in a tackle. I don't care if you get a red card, you don't let that guy or anybody run free. There was nobody down the right side wing. There were two Kansas City players just running free down the left side wing, easily setting up for a shot and a goal to equalize Kansas City. And then almost a carbon copy 5 minutes later. Same thing happened. Kansas City takes the lead right back, and thus the comeback that we have gotten immediately goes away. I'm going to tell you guys, this stings. There is no sugarcoating this whatsoever. This stung, and it's going to probably last with the Fire for a while. You know, this defense needs to understand. They need to take a look at the film on this and understand that you cannot let players of the opposition just run free. You cannot let them get into any sort of attacking position in that last 10 minutes. And I'm pretty sure Veljko Paunovic, if he's any sort of good manager, if he's a manager worth his salt, he will sit down with those defenders, show that footage the last 10 minutes, and say, what the hell were you thinking? Why did you not put in a tackle? I don't care if you get a card. I don't care if you get sent off. Do something to stop the attack. We're up 3-2. We just had that comeback of our lives. Stop them. Don't allow them to get any sort of attacks off. Ultimately, it was the defense that once again let us down. And at this point in time, as I said before, it's something that has plagued the Fire for several years, that they cannot get a competent defense. And Rick Sanchez in front of net, one of those goals was in fact his problem, where he spilled a relatively easy shot right to the open feet of a Kansas City player to give them a goal. So goalkeeping needs to be addressed as well. We have decent midfield. We have a decent attack. It's just the defense that is letting us down, and maybe, just maybe, that could be addressed before the transfer window is shut. Our next match is in fact going to be in 3 weeks' time, where we're going to be taking on the Portland Timbers. But until that time, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching another Chicago Fire vlog. Take care and peace out, and I'll see you in 3 weeks. Hopefully the Fire are better by then.